Be not mistaken, my friend. There is a war out, a war on, and a war against not only the members of the Supreme Court, our justices, but the Constitution of the United States of America. Don't think for 1 minute this is what's getting in their way. They're going after Alito for the most specious of reasons. They're going after Justice Thomas all of a sudden. But here's the best part. Please, please, please see if you can contain yourself. See if you can hold back the laughter when you consider that they're actually saying in the same breath, in the same consideration, that they're worried about conflicts of interest. They're worried about what could be perhaps appearances of impropriety, collusion, bribery, treason, when they're not lifting a finger to investigate anything involving Joe Biden and that rancid, horrid, drug-addled reprobate, that vile vermin Hunter Biden. Not a clue, not a concern. The president, and his son acting as a bagman with America's true enemies, not a word. Yet, Alito, who dares to write the majority opinion in Dobbs, overturning their beloved agent of perhaps legal genocide, that might be a bit much. Abortion. You don't see what's going on? Of course you do. They're going after him. And what is Alito doing? He's fighting back. He's saying, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to just sit back and play stupid here. This is a new game. Years ago, in days of Oliver Wendell Holmes and Frankfurter and Cardozo, and yes, we might have been gentlemen then, Charles Evans Hughes, we might have enjoyed this time then. Even during Abe Fortas, there were issues of kind of dare I say a scholarly and gentlemanly respect for the office, respect for what's going on. But those days apparently are over, and those days are gone, and those days don't exist anymore. So what Alito is doing, and what Justice Thomas is doing, and what I hope Justices Kavanaugh and Gorsuch and others do, is to fight back. Because unless you fight back, these people aren't going to go away, especially when they look the other way regarding Joe Biden. My friend, first I ask you at this time to like this video, to please subscribe to the channel, to please join me in this fight for truth. Hit that little bell so you'll be notified of live streams. And while we're on this subject, we have a wonderful sponsor here, mypillow.com, that makes everything possible. And we would like you very much. We would be so honored if you go to mypillow.com/Lionel or promo code Lionel and enjoy a free gift for you. And just peruse the products, what is available for you. It's incredible, from slippers to percales to duvets to blankets to pillowcases to you name it. MyPillow.com, a great company, great products. And you being great should understand that greatly. Thank you. There's a link attached. Just click that little link. Now, my friend, let's talk about what's going on here. The Dobbs decision was the one that got him. I remember where I was. I was in a diner in the great state of New Jersey, and I happened to look down at my phone, and I saw that Roe and Casey, in effect. Roe against Wade and Casey, which really overruled Roe, but they were overruled by Dobbs. Because the court finally said there is no constitutional right to abortion under any circumstances, under stare decisis, substantive due process, name it. Name it. And up till now, those individuals who are of the, I don't want to say left or right, but I will say left, of the left, those proponents said, it's been so long. We're kind of used to this Roe thing. Let's not upset the apple cart, because after all, we're used to this. We've kind of grown accustomed to this. Don't change this now. Please don't do anything now. Please, we ask you. Don't. Just let it go. Isn't that great? Sure glad they didn't think that way when it came to, Brown against Board of Education. Plessy against Ferguson, separate but equal. We've gotten so used to it. I mean, do you really want to change this now? It's kind of part of who we are. Don't you understand that? And this slavery thing, this Dred Scott, we don't know that. Don't you think that maybe certain things we should just kind of maybe just accept because we're kind of used to them? It's the most amazing thing in the world. I can't believe this is actually an argument from legal scholars of the left who actually believe that the court should follow this nonsense. You see, because let me explain something to you. The Constitution doesn't verify and validate everything you want to be true. That's through legislation. And it's not a living, breathing, growing protein thing. Let me give you an example. I've given this before, so if you've heard me, forgive me. Let's say you're a line judge at the upcoming U.S. Open, and you've got Nadal and Federer and all these people, and you're sitting there, and all you're doing is you're just looking to make sure the ball is in the alley in that little square, and if it is, fine, safe, good, whatever the phrase is. And you sit one day and you realize, you know what? The level of the game has changed so much since the days of Don Budge and Jack Kramer and Bill Tilden. These lanes of in and out don't really apply anymore. These players are so good, they could put that ball anywhere they wanted. So I don't think this tennis rule book today comports and complies with the growing nature of the sport. So I'm going to call this ball, which technically is in, I'm going to call it out, because I think the rules of tennis should abide and comply with the ever-changing complexity and skill set of the players. You would laugh me out of Dodge. That's exactly what they want you to do. The Constitution is not here to validate your thoughts. You may be in favor of laws that allow sodomy or gay marriage or gay adoption or child labor laws or whatever. You may be for or against that. That's what the legislature is for. But the Constitution may be silent on it. May say there's nothing here that we're not saying it's okay. We just don't have a prohibition against that. There may be a sport where there is nothing that prevents you from showing up wearing a suit and a tie to play. It may be silent on that. That doesn't mean that the proponents of the sport like that. You may be against the death penalty, but the Constitution specifically provides for the death penalty so long as there's due process of law. Life, liberty, and property. So long as there is due process of law, you can be deprived of life, liberty, and property so long as you employ due process of law. And when it comes to abortion, there is no right to an abortion. And this nonsense called privacy that was first enunciated in 1965 by William O. Douglas in The Griswold case, it was a contraception case where the court was offended over the fact that in Connecticut there was a law that prohibited contraception. So they said, well, certainly there must be some right that you have, some law, some right that permeates, that uh, emanates from the penumbra of this is the language. They just made this up, that there's got to be some law, something that is some due process right that is so fundamental. It's not a matter of procedure, it's fundamental to us, and we're going to recognize this thing that we just made up. You don't do that. If you're against or for abortion, go to your legislature and take care of it. Look at the death penalty. Half of the cases states say it's okay, half of the states roughly say it's not. It's up to you. The Constitution is not the rule book that says these are the things that we like. It prohibits the government from certain deprivations. It doesn't stand for the acceptance of behaviors. It doesn't stand for the production, the promulgation, the presentation, the promotion of privacy. That's like me saying there should be a protection against stuff. Your stuff, like a Carlin routine. No. This has nothing to do. Being a constitutional scholar has nothing to do with your thoughts regarding a woman's right to terminate a pregnancy. That's it. But they vowed to get him, and they vowed to get the rest of the justices of the Supreme Court. They vowed, because this is a new militancy that we're seeing here. This is, the left is like nothing you've seen. They have shock troops and stormtroopers that go out into the world, and they just make sure that those people who dare trifle with them will feel their wrath. And they are relentless. And they are so much better equipped than the right, who do nothing really but just respond. All right, dear friends, thank you so much for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And please remember our great sponsor. The link's right there. Just click that link. MyPillow.com. Promo code Lionel. Now, please, I ask you, if you would and you could, please provide us with your brilliance and comment as you see fit.